Hey, Export and Sell here, showing you how to turn everyday items around you into dollars. Look, Africa has huge potentials, and we can increase the wealth of Africa by exporting everyday items such as food, clothes, cosmetic, wooden items, you name it, and selling them in dollars. On this channel, we show you how to go from zero to as much as $100,000 monthly in a very short time. So don't forget to subscribe so you're updated when I post new videos, and be sure to share this video with family and friends, as you don't know whose life you will change. Again, hit the subscribe button. Let's get started. Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about a very important topic. If you want to go into export, especially if you are dealing with food especially, or cosmetic products, you need to know about FDA, and the FDA registration process is very vital. There's a lot of misconception about the FDA. Some people think, oh, you must be a very big company before you have your FDA registration. And again, I'm going to show you that these things are not true. I'll show you the process of actually getting your FDA food facility registration. Some people also think that you need to have certain registration from your local country before you can get the FDA. It is really not true. So for a country like Nigeria, for example, it's not mandatory for you to have the NAFDAC registration before you do the FDA, but the law requires to have some of those registrations before you can export. So but again, today we're just going to be talking about the FDA, and I'll give you all the tips, all the things you need to know about the FDA so that you can make a good decision when signing up for it. All right, so let's get started. What is the FDA? So again, the FDA is the Food and Drug Administration, and their responsibility is basically to protect the public health, and what they do is that they assure the safety, efficacy, and security of human and veterinary drugs. So any drugs or medical devices, equipment that humans or animals take, FDA is responsible for ensuring that they are safe for consumption. Now, the FDA is also responsible for overseeing biological products, medical devices, because again, these are things that affect humans, and most especially, they are responsible for ensuring the safety of the U.S. food supply. It's very important. I think that is probably their biggest responsibility, because food is something that everybody needs on a regular basis. Now, not just food, they are also responsible for ensuring anything that has to do with the body consumption. They are responsible for it. They also take care of things that involve radiation. They regulate it to a large extent, making sure that people don't get poisoned in any way by using any of those products. So that's the short definition of the FDA. So again, all you need to remember, you don't need to remember all of this. Just remember that when you are shipping in commercial quantities, food, cosmetics, and again, when we talk about food, we're not just talking about food for people. They regulate food for people as well as for animals. So if you are dealing with anything food, you are trying to export it to the USA, you are dealing with anything drugs, you are dealing with anything medical devices, you are dealing with cosmetics, you have to make sure you have the right FDA license for your need. So now, but in this topic, we are dealing with food. So if you are a food manufacturer and you are outside of the USA and you are trying to ship your food to the USA, that is what we are dealing with here. Now, to do that, you need something called a food facility registration. That is very, very important. Now, an FDA food facility registration is required by all companies in the USA as well as outside that are involved in certain processes with food. So let's get it right. It's not just about, I'm shipping food that I'm selling in the USA that I need to get an FDA registration. There are other processes that you may be involved in that will require you to get an FDA registration. Because a lot of times what you have is that you have somebody, say in Africa, who is shipping products to a company in the USA, and it is the company in the USA that is selling. Even though the company in the USA that is selling, because that food is manufactured, processed, stored, packed in Africa, then your company in Africa needs to have an FDA food facility registration. So it's not just about because you are selling that you need to have it. For as long as you manufacture, you process, you pack, you store, and you are sending those products to the USA, you need to have an FDA food facility registration. Now, the rules is simple. All companies that want to sell food in the USA, you must register. And when I say sell, again, don't get me wrong, for as long as you process, manufacture, pack, you need to get a registration. Now, what is the benefit of this food facility registration? It's very simple. It helps to locate any place where there could be an act of bioterrorism. So when we talk about bioterrorism, it helps to locate a potential food facility that could lead to poisoning of Americans. I'm sure you all remember this actually came about after the 9/11 attack. So they started looking at other things. The US government was monitoring, and they found out that, look, it's not just by taking a plane into the World Trade Center that they could cause mass casualty. They could poison food that is coming into the USA. So that is how the food facility registration and all that came about. So what they really intend to do is when you register your facility and you ship food to the USA and they discover that there's maybe a contamination of the food, the key thing they do is, because you have registered when coming in, they can look at the food and know the facility where that product came from. It's really not about terrorism or to witch hunt anybody. It's just when some of this outbreak occur, they will now be able to trace it to that place, contact the country and tell them, look, there is contamination from this, you need to fix it. So again, it's very important. Every facility where food is made that is going to be exported to the USA needs this. Now, your food facility registration, you need to renew it every 2 years between October 1st and December 31st of even numbered years. And again, let me just sound this as a note of warning. Do not ship commercial quantities of food to the USA if you don't have a food facility registration. Now, the next question you'll be asking me is, oh, I make this food, I make that food. Do I need to have an FDA food facility registration? Yes. For as long as you do any food supplement, beverages, alcoholic drink, infant formula, you deal with fruits and vegetables, seafood, baked food, snacks, sweet and candy, animal food, dairy products, bottled water, raw agri products, So basically, if you are involved in anything food, you need to have a food facility registration. Now, one of the key areas that confuse a lot of people is what they call a US agent. Okay, so a lot of people say, oh, can't I just go to the website? I'm in Ghana, I'm in South Africa, and just register myself. You can, but for as long as you're outside the country, it's not allowed for you to do so. You need to have what they call a US agent, because remember, the FDA in the USA, they can't be making thousands of calls to countries, people shipping foods from all over the USA. So what they do is that they have you, when you are registering, you need to have a US agent, and that agent is responsible, is more of your contact between you and the FDA. If there's any issue whatsoever, it is that agent that the FDA will call, and it is that agent that will relay the information to you. So It's a very important responsibility. You must have a U.S. agent if you are based outside of the country. That is a must as part of the FDA rules. Now, the U.S. agent is basically, like I said, your representative for communication purposes in the USA. They speak on your behalf. They may ask the U.S. agent questions about shipments you are bringing in or things like that. Again, you must provide accurate information to the U.S. agent during registration to avoid wrong information. So what the FDA has done of recent is to mandate all facilities outside of the US to have a Dun and Bradstreet number. So if you are trying to register for a food facility, the agent is going to ask you for your Dun and Bradstreet number. This number is vital. Now, the essence is simple. Before they started using it, people will use any facility to register their food facility. And, something happens a year later, the FDA goes to inspect that facility and they don't see anybody there. Some people have actually used fake facility and fake addresses to do their registration. So Dun & Bradstreet is a company that collates database of companies. So what they do is they will visit your facility, assign a Dun & Bradstreet number, and that visit ensures that it is a valid facility. And when you are now registering for your food facility, the U.S. agent who will do the registration for you will have to get that Dun & Bradstreet number. It is mandatory. Just Google Dun & Bradstreet. They are available in virtually every country, and they will be able to give you that number that you need for your registration. Now, let's say you've registered. You start shipping food to the USA. A time will come when you may see FDA notify you that they are going to come do an inspection of your facility. Typically, they will contact the US agent about an inspection to your facility, and it is that US agent that will communicate to you. So this is very important. Why having a good US agent is very vital. What you've seen in the past is a situation where some people just use their brother or sister, somebody who doesn't even pick up their phone because they are at work or they don't check their email. Now, if they contact the US agent and the US agent does not contact you, they will still come for the inspection, and it could take you unawares. But again, a couple of things to keep in mind. Make sure your facility, you are using good manufacturing practice, because when they come for the inspection, they want to be sure that that is a facility that is manufacturing food that is safe for consumption. So good manufacturing practice, label compliance, they check to see that you are complete. If you are shipping food to the USA, are the labels in compliance? HACCP, hazard analysis and critical control point, they want to see that you've done that in your facility, and they also verify accuracy of your registration, to make sure they can look at the details of your registration, make sure that everything is accurate, so that in case they need to contact you, they have the right details. Again, if they found out you use wrong information, your FDA number will definitely be suspended or cancelled. So make sure you do it right. And again, a lot of people have run into this problem. So many people have contacted me on it. They shipped an item, commercial quantity of foods to the US. The items were held, and then they contact me, how can I get an FDA number, within 1 hour or within 3 hours? Look, if you don't have an FDA food facility registration, do not ship commercial quantities of food to the USA. It's a simple advice. So if a shipment is detained due to no registration and you go and register a new number, typically what you see is that the new registration will only affect future shipments. So you need to be careful. A lot of times, a lot of issues I've seen with FDA registration, the only option is either have them ship the food products back to you if they are very expensive, or let them just destroy it, in which case you forget it. If the shipping cost is going to be so much that at the end of the day to be too expensive to, to do all that. Now, again, if you don't have an FDA and you've already shipped products, remember, it's going to take a lot of time for you to register, because first you have to get your Dun and Bradstreet number before you now do the registration. So I don't know how long it takes. It could take 3, it could take a week, it could take 2 weeks at times for you to get your Dun and Bradstreet number. It depends on the country you are and how fast DMB is able to process it. But it could be very expensive if you don't have your FDA number before you start shipping items. So let me give you a typical scenario. I got a call one time from a lady. She shipped about 350 kilograms of food into the USA, and this is why it's very important to make sure you are using shipping companies that know what they are doing. So she had various items, 50 kg, 30 kg, and obviously these are commercial quantities of food, and she shipped it to the USA without an FDA food registration, and the shipment was obviously held. 350 kilograms is a lot. Now, when you ship with airlines and they detain your shipment, there's going to be demurrage on that shipment. Some airlines can charge you anywhere from $2 to $4 per kg per day if your shipment is delayed. So when she called me, she had about 350 kilograms. Now, she could have gone to do the FDA registration, but it was complex because she had food from different manufacturers made in different facilities, meaning that each of those separate facilities will need to do their own FDA registration. That alone could take weeks to do. So what you end up seeing is, that 350 kilograms of shipment is probably better for her to just tell them to ship it back, depending on the cost, or she should just tell them to destroy it. So again, don't make the mistake of shipping products to the USA if you don't have an FDA food facility registration. So what are the things you need to do your registration? Obviously the facility address, then the owners. Who is the owner? Is there a parent company? Is there what is the corporate type? All those type of questions are going to be asked when you are doing your registration. Then they're obviously going to need details of the owner, emergency contact. So if there is any form of food contamination, they know who to reach out to. Very, very important. They also need to know the description, the type of food that you make at that facility. They also need to know things like what type of process do you do in that facility. Remember, it's not just about who makes the food. If you make the food and then you transport it to another facility to package, a packaging facility will also need to have an FDA food registration. If you warehouse it somewhere for a considerable period and there is a risk of contamination during the storage process, then that storage process facility will also need to have an FDA food facility registration. So there's a lot of, again, talk to an expert on this before you start, thinking of doing that. Hours of operation, they will need to know your hours of operation. They will also obviously need the details of your US agent, like I talked about. And then, in registering, there's an agreement you have to sign that you will give FDA the option to come and inspect your facility at any time. So those are the key things you need. Now, again, we here at Export and Sell, we can be your US agent. We do that all the time. We've done FDA food facility registration for so many people. We do it the right way. We have everything it takes to be your US agent. We have our offices in the US, both Houston and Atlanta, and we can definitely do that. We simplify the process. Just reach out to us, and our cost is reasonable. We're about probably more than 50% cheaper than most places, because again, since our focus is on Africa, we know a lot of African companies are not that rich, so we try to make it affordable. We'll simply send you about 3 pages of form to fill where you tell us all the things that you do, and then we'll help you file the food facility registration. Again, I think that is all. Again, Nduka here from Export and Sell. You know what we do. Our focus is to help Africa build their wealth by exporting items to the USA. We help do so many things. We can put your products on Amazon. We have a team that will handle the whole Amazon listing process. We can help to warehouse your products in the USA, so that when you have buyers, you don't need to be shipping that long distance. As we warehouse, we can just take the products and ship it to the customer. I can also help you find buyers, so that's also something else that we do here at Export and Sell. So we do a lot, basically trying to support businesses in Africa to sell and earn in dollars. So again, that is all about the food facility registration. I hope you learned a lot. You can always reach us at the details below. Email us contact@exportandsell.com. Call the number below, and we'll definitely take care of your FDA food facility registration. Click the link below to learn more about Export and Sell FDA and see how we can help you earning in dollars. Again, thank you. Stay blessed.